this episode today, it's like Inception.
This is very meta.
This is it. Like, boom, boom, boom. Today, you get to kind of guide and govern what this episode is going to be like. We sometimes forget that content is still social.
That's right. What would I say to that woman? What did I say to my friend?
Yeah.
And I was able to share that.
Question number one. One of the things I love about learning is the ability to ask a well-placed question. I learned this probably later than I should have in life, that asking the best question meant that you got an opportunity to really shape the conversation. One of my favorite question askers is Oprah. Ding, 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 ding. Literally, people.
She's the master.
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
People would walk away from the show saying, I had no intention to share all of that.
Exactly.
Every single time. Like, I didn't even know how that conversation was going to go. And it came to the point where she was just so known for asking really great questions that people just was like, I just want to be interviewed by her.
Yeah.
Questions play such a critical role. And in the whole content game, we are always, of course, depositing what we hope is valuable information. Today's episode, however, we want to hear from you. And so what I have is 5 questions. I have more than 5. I just don't think we're going to be able to get more than 5.
Yeah.
But I have 5 questions. Typical questions. We try to consolidate where possible. Some of them have come in from How It All Works. Others have come in from other content that I've done on Instagram and other platforms as well. And so we're excited to be able to dive into those questions and share with you what that looks like. So today you get to kind of guide and govern what this episode is going to be like. This is the How It All Works podcast. I get to serve as your host. My name is Kirk Nugent, and back with us today is our lovely co-host,
Taina Nixon.
We're always excited when you're here. I won't lie. Somebody, I can't remember who. I've got to show you some of the comments. Somebody was like, "Yeah, man, I love when you and Taina are there. It's just, it's a good vibe. Guys. It's a good vibe. It's a good vibe."
February was a lot.
No, life be doing its thing.
Life was lifing. Your girl got sick, y'all.
Hey, and when you're sick, you got to listen. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I
tried to rally, but I was down bad. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to rest until I feel all the way back
to 100%.
Yeah.
That's it. And you know, this is not the only thing that we do.
Right.
You know,
that's right. We're busy doing.
There's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be great. So question number 1. This is it's called the first step question, right?
Okay.
Getting started, overcoming fear. So for someone who is completely paralyzed by the idea of being on camera or putting their voice out there, what is the very first lowest stakes piece of content they should create to start building their credibility online without getting overwhelmed? It's really, what is that first piece of content that they should create for somebody who really, they already know that they need to do this. So we're not trying to, give them those points, but they're more so like, how do I start, and what's probably the easiest type of content to put out? I've got some things in mind.
Me too.
But I want to hear what you're gonna say first.
I feel like our answers are gonna be different.
Oh, I hope they are.
Okay.
I'm excited that they might be. Yeah.
Coming from the more like creative, less technical side of content creation, I would just say a static in-feed photo post where your content is really the caption and you don't have to speak to camera. You don't have to you can edit it and make it say exactly what you want it to say. And it could just be like a get to know me type of post. Hi, I'm so-and-so. Fun facts about you and what you expect to bring to the platform. I think that's it.
You aren't gonna find any argument from me.
Okay.
No, I know I'm heavy video.
Right. That's
I love
why I thought that would be your answer.
Love video. But I think you have to play to your strengths. So my only thing that I would add to that is, if that's your strength.
Okay.
Right? That's the only thing I would add.
Okay, is like, that's true. Everybody's not a great writer.
Because I'm not a great caption writer.
Fair.
And I see some captions, I don't even, you know how you expand it and you see like it's a full book?
Yeah.
And you just keep on reading and reading, and you're like, wow. That's just really good. And you just keep on reading. I don't know. I don't have that skill set. And I think that for the person that has that.
Yes.
by all means, use that
you're right.
superpower.
You're right.
But for somebody like me, my sweet spot is not just video, but specifically live video.
Okay.
And yeah, for me, I recorded an entire course this past Wednesday after my masterclass was done and before prayer meeting.
Wow.
6 parts.
Wow.
Because video for me
That's
is
your thing.
Bing, 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 bing. So I'm just saying you play to your strengths.
Good point.
But I also think the simplicity of how you structured it, it doesn't have to be a YouTube video.
Right.
You don't have to say, I'm launching a podcast.
Correct.
You're just posting content.
Yeah.
I think we sometimes forget that content is still social.
That's right. Exactly.
Like it's still social. So that is it's a great framing of that answer. And I hope that frees somebody up out there.
Okay, wait.
Okay, no, go for it.
If it's not there, if they feel like writing is not their strong suit,
yes.
Should they be doing something else, or should they just adjust how they format it?
I think adjusting how they format it is where I would lean to. But I love this. So you do want to look at all of the different forms of content. One of the things I would say for the person that asked this question, I'm seeing a profile. And the profile is, I know that I need to do this. I'm a little apprehensive, a little fearful, which everybody is.
Yeah.
Even us.
Yep. For sure. Oh, 100%.
Even us. But
I get nervous every time I have to post. and I've been on the internet for over 15 years.
These are the things I wanted to say. Like, I'm reading into the question some of those items.
Yeah.
And so what I would say is you're still testing. So here's the truth. Doing that post with the caption, picture and the caption, you actually don't know if you're good at it or not.
That's true.
So try that one.
Yeah.
And then consume content.
Right.
What types of posts do you like?
Right.
Could you mimic them?
Right.
With your own voice, with your own thing.
Good idea.
And then also, like, I
always consume content with the intention of figuring out what your next post is going to be.
Yes.
Don't just doom scroll. That's not what we mean.
No.
Intentionally go and look at creators that you like, the type of content that you like. Even save some of them for inspo. Like, you should have an inspo folder on your Instagram, on your TikTok, whatever, and be saving stuff that you can go back and be like, you know what? I really liked how this person introduced themselves or how they brought up this topic. Good. I'm going to do something similar. Not exactly the same.
We're not.
I will not copy and paste their caption.
Please don't do that.
All right. But just for inspo.
But I love that. And the only other thing, so consume content.
Yeah.
Try out different types.
Yes.
Try out the reel.
Yeah.
Try out a story. It disappears in 24 hours. It's so low commitment, y'all.
That's true.
Like,
stories are the great way to get good at speaking straight to camera.
Boom. Try out a story.
Way less. Only a fraction of your audience is watching your stories.
Yeah.
And they're going to be gone in 24 hours. Very low stakes.
Very low stakes. I put a lot of things in stories.
Yeah.
And just to kind of test the waters to see what's there. But then the last thing I would say, and this is kind of counterintuitive because it's not posting, but just be more sensitive to how you engage with your friends and your family.
Okay.
What are the moments that you have that you're thinking to yourself, like, man, if I could have captured this, this would be good content.
Okay.
Be sensitive to that. That's one of the things that my sister and I would say this stuff all the time. It's like, if we could be, this is real life, if we could be the version of ourselves at home, outside, like, we would be rock stars. Because at home, like, we ran the stage.
That's such a good point. As someone who has created content that is very similar, really, it came out of my real life where I have these interactions with other people, with other women. And then I realized, this same kind of interaction where I'm offering advice, I'm the friend that everyone comes to for advice. And so I realized if I could monetize that and show up as that person on the internet and for a client, I think I'd be doing my best work. Boom. I started actually turning that into content. I am not telling my friend's business. I'm not doing anything like that.
That's so good. That's so good. Yeah.
I've had a conversation with a friend and I was like, I really wish I had recorded that.
Yeah.
And so then I just went back in my mind and thought about all of the different women that she represents.
Boom.
The kind of woman who was in a terrible relationship for a long time and was trying to come out of it. what would I say to that woman? What did I say to my friend? And I just took out all of the identifiers, right? I'm not talking about her name, age, her relationship to me, nothing like that. But gold. I turned that into a piece of written content.
Yeah.
And I was able to share that.
Real quick, just based on you watching this podcast, I know 2 things. You believe in investing in yourself, and you recognize the exponential power of content. Super dope. Content is the engine that enables professionals to control how they show up online. And that's why you're here. But I want to ask you this question. Is your current digital footprint intentional, or is it abandoned? When people Google you, what do they find? And are you in control of those results? I want to invite you to take the A-List Digital Footprint Challenge. In 90 minutes, you'll gain unreal clarity on your digital reputation and how to improve it. This challenge has equipped chefs, public servants, medical doctors, MCs, speakers, and educators to turn content into community and authority into impact. What if a few online presence changes could be the difference between another average year and finally cracking 6 figures? Scan the QR code if you're watching on a TV, or click the link in the first comment below. Put yourself back in control of your digital reputation. All right, let's get back to the conversation.
So yeah, be sensitive when you're interacting with other people. Someone comes and asks you for help on how to create something. You're like a technical type of person or whatever. Yeah. Think about what you did to help that person solve their problem. Create content
for that.
Yeah.
This is why I never share my notes with her. You're like, so I told you we have the 5 questions.
Yeah.
But I also started with a blurb.
Right.
And the ending blurb was going to be, because you just said it.
Yeah.
The when I was in public speaker school, I was trying to figure out how to frame my talks so that it didn't feel like such a heavy lift, trying to get it out there. And they were like, well, what about the talk do you enjoy? And I said, it's the Q&A. I do the talk to get to the
Q&A. Exactly.
I mean, just so that we can have some kind of a nugget.
Right.
So that there is a Q&A. But if I could just walk up there and be like, what are your questions?
What do y'all want to know?
I would do that, which is exactly what we're doing in this episode.
Exactly.
And what my coach said to me at the time was, then just structure your content as a question you get to answer, which is what you just said.
Exactly that.
You were in a conversation with a friend, they asked you something, and then you shared some things when you were like, man, that's really good content. Now you're restructuring what you're sharing online as a question you get to answer.
That's
and I love that. Yeah. I love that. Because I mean, even this episode today, it's like Inception, because we just have 5 questions.
This is very meta.
It's like boom, boom, boom. But that's such a cheat code for just being able to show up and feel natural, feel normal. Because I think that's the other part of this first question. It's like, they're scared. Yeah, they want to know what's that first piece of content, but there's trepidation, there's fear.
Yes.
And that's normal.
That's very normal. Like I said, I've been creating content for over 15 years, probably more like 17 years. And every time. Every time. If I'm creating on my own platforms, I get nervous. When I'm creating for others, for organizations, I get nervous every time and have to be like, okay, just post it.
Just post it.
Yeah.
Post it and walk away.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, I told you we weren't going to get through. I have more than 5. I have no idea if we're going to get all of these. Okay. This next one is called kind of a co-creator dynamic. And this is talking about us.
Okay.
So you two have such distinct strengths and great dynamic on the show. For business partners or co-hosts trying to build a brand together, how do you make sure both your personalities shine without muddying the core message of the business? This is such a great question. This is probably an entire episode, if I'm honest with you. Like, we should probably table this. No, but I do want to take a stab at it.
Okay.
I think I said this before. And maybe this is kind of where the question comes from, but I had you on as a guest for the How It All Works live show when it was a live show before it was a podcast.
Right.
I had you on as a guest, and that conversation was fire.
Right.
And so that already kind of let me know, like, there's a synergy.
Right.
There is a natural banter back and forth. There's so many times where I'll be having a conversation and they're just like, and they're waiting to jump in. I'm like, no, you've got to talk.
You just got to jump in. Just say what you need to say.
Just jump in. That's not. I just didn't grow up like that. I have 4 siblings, so I didn't grow up that way. But there is also, I think you've got to, because it's very possible for for your business partner and you not to be good co-hosts.
Yes, I agree.
That's just
Big agree.
The reality of it.
Because it's really even more than you guys having like overlap of your expertise. It's personality. It's such a huge part of it.
Personality is a major piece of it.
So you have to make sure that those personalities would work together in front of a camera.
I have actually done a project with a business where the primary leaders were a team. Mm-hmm. They're not a couple, but a team, but they were not good.
On camera together.
Yeah, and they had no problem with that. They're like, look,
it's fine.
And one of them had a natural bent toward it anyway.
Okay.
So we just found someone as a co-host for that person, and they led that part of the
I appreciate
business.
The self-awareness in that.
And I think that's, you got to take that. I mean, I don't think it's an L. Honestly, if that's not your thing.
Yes.
Like, boom, that's not your thing. That's fine. So there's so much more here, but I just feel like that's a good place to start.
Play to your strengths.
Play to your strengths and test.
Yes.
Test it out. See what feels natural. Give it a real test too, because everybody has to work out kinks and jitters. Yeah. So that first episode is not a real representation of what all of it's going to look like. But I also feel like some people have the ability, because I have been told this, that what Shabavian said, if you're doing the live show, Kirk, I'll do it with you. But
I don't want to
do it.
Yeah.
I don't. If it's somebody else, I feel like the two of us are just going to be looking at one another there. But with you, I just feel like I'm just kind of sitting having a conversation, and so that's why I feel like you really want to play to the strengths, like you said,
the strengths of each person for sure.
Yeah. That co-hosted one, that's a really good question. That's a really good question,
and I think we should have an episode on that where we really can
kind
flesh
of break
it out.
down some of the real. I think that's a really great idea. This is why questions are such a cheat code.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
if you aren't, just a little nugget in between here, but if you aren't really paying attention to your questions, I think you're leaving so much on the table.
Correct.
That's a two-way street that you're having with your audience. Okay, question number 3. And I hope that the question number 2, at least suffice until we can give you a full episode on that one. This is a first impression. If a potential client hears about my business and searches my name right now, what are the top 2 or 3 things my digital footprint should communicate within the first, 20 minutes or whatever, to establish trust? And this is very much a content business question. This is very much, within that lane. I think we did a digital footprint episode where I said your digital footprint actually is pretty good when you do that search. Yeah. But I think actually you talked about that the first few pinned posts should kind of cover
the first few posts. If you're on Instagram, for example, on TikTok too, I guess, when someone comes to your page before they scroll, like the literal first thing that they would see before scrolling, that needs to include your like areas of expertise, and give them some sense of like who you are as a person as well, and like, or what the branding for your company is.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So that needs to be very evident as like a first impression is, I think, what they said in the question.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
First impression needs to encapsulate.
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I was like, did I make that up?
No. You got it.
It needs to encapsulate what you want people to know about you. So if you are give me a what type of creator could they be?
Food, culinary.
Okay. What kinds of food do you make? Right. Like, what are your strengths? The things that, like, if you're vegan heavy, that first one of those first
this is 8
posts,
so practical. Thank you for breaking it down like that.
Easy vegan recipes or whatever. Or if that's not your thing, if your thing is like 4-course meals, it needs to be how to create a 4-course vegan meal.
Or if you're going high, top shelf, like high end, those
it needs to speak to that.
Yes.
So
and it should look that way.
Correct.
Too. Yeah.
Yes. And the quality needs to be there, right? Like, I get it. All of our posts cannot be 4K, 60, whatever.
Yeah, cinematic. Right.
All of our posts can't be that, but like that first, first thing that people see about you need to be high quality, need to be top notch.
Yeah.
I run the socials for an organization, And every few months I go through and I'm like, which post should we pin that speak to the pillars of our content, right? So like for the organization, they want people to know that they're like Christ-centered. Yeah. They want people to know that they speak to families and that they work for the community.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So my top post, and I need to think about, are we going to be able to create more content like that?
Yeah.
Because you also don't want to trick people.
No.
You don't want your top post, and this has happened to so many people. Your most viral post sometimes has nothing to do with your actual content.
So true.
It was just something you were doing for fun and
true.
right? But like, you're not going to keep making that content probably.
You don't keep coming back for that.
Correct. That happened to me one time. My highest performing piece of content for 2 years.
Oh my.
Was something that didn't really have anything to do with my content. It was just like a throwaway, being funny.
This is what happens though. Yeah.
I'm not going to pin that.
No.
Even though it's my best performing piece of content, I didn't pin it because it doesn't give people a true reflection of what to expect when they come to my page.
Yeah.
And I don't want them to be disappointed.
No, this is gold. Instagram, I think, also has a little blurb at the top, you know, a little bio. And then, of course, you get an opportunity to have a link. Facebook is the same. I think you want to own those areas.
Yeah.
Far too many people don't own those areas.
Yes.
Having a banner that really expresses, like, this is the thing. This is the thing.
Yeah,
this
if you're on YouTube,
thing.
that like
boom
across the back, is that the banner? What
it's called banner.
The banner.
Yeah.
That needs to be very indicative of like what you do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if there is a primary person that is synonymous with the brand, they need to, their face should be on there.
Yes.
If they're, and I always like to 4 to 5 words. Doesn't need to be a paragraph, y'all, but 4 to 5 words that really speak to like, boom, this is my thing. I think you absolutely want that up there. But the content pieces that you have readily available right there at the top that you want to take time to curate and make sure you take advantage of what the platform is giving you so that what's there is what you want them to see.
Correct. Because pinned posts, they made it so much easier now that you can pin a post.
Absolutely.
Before, I had to think about every week that I was creating content. Do I have one piece that speaks to motherhood? Do I have a piece that speaks to womanhood? Do I have a piece that speaks to Christianity? I literally had to do that every week to ensure that my first 6 posts were about that.
So that you could maintain that.
So I could maintain that. That was so much more work than just having some pinned posts that speak to each pillar.
See, this is gold. And I want to just kind of round it out. So we talked about the social platforms, but when people are searching for you, which is what I believe they talked about, you know, and you're what's going to end up coming up in that list of what's searched is what is most active and your website. So you do want to have one. That's A. B, it should be updated.
Yes.
It should, again, same thing. You own that space.
Yeah.
Whatever that top piece of the website is, whatever blurb you have on there, it should speak to who you are, what you do.
Yeah.
And should kind of, hopefully it gives them a window into your authority. I love a good, you know, speaking pic or activity. Something is happening.
You want to
something
make sure that
doing.
your the credibility for you as a professional in that space is front and center. Yeah.
Yeah. You play that up. And then the thing to do also, you know, in terms of a digital footprint, this is the last piece. You get to decide what comes up on that search page by how you engage and the amount of content that you put out there. And unfortunately, so many people, professionals of every different caliber, they're just not intentional. Keeping up.
Yeah.
So sometimes I had a guest on the show, and for a while, the only thing that would come up when you search him was my show, because he wasn't intentional about putting more content out there. Now, thankfully, it was a good show.
Yeah.
It was a good, it showed him being interviewed, which was great.
Which is good, yeah.
That's part of your digital footprint.
For sure.
And you want people to see you in that capacity. Okay, this guy's interesting enough.
Yes.
Somebody brought them on their show.
Right.
But hopefully it's not just one.
Right.
If we have like 4 or 5, which would be great. You know, the speaking engagement or you know, a flyer that says, you know, somebody's having you come here.
Right.
All of that stuff.
And remember not to compare your day 1 to somebody else's day 675.
That's it.
So if you're just starting, you're building.
You're building.
Which is why I like the idea of, in the beginning, to start like churning out. churning out the content.
The name of the game is volume.
You got to get the volume up. Woo. You know? And that also means if you can get the volume up, this kind of goes back to question number one. If you can get the volume up, you don't need to rely on that one first piece of content or the second piece of content.
Agreed.
That's how I used to think about it, is like, if I don't create more content, then each singular piece of content carries more weight.
That's all I got out there.
That's all I have. So the more I put it out there, the less I can be worried about this one flopping or succeeding, you know?
Wow. Listen, we've got to do more of these question shows because this is phenomenal.
I like this.
We got two more. And I think we can make it.
Okay.
The content to client question. This is business ROI. We hear a lot about the importance of being consistent, but consistency doesn't always equal revenue. What does the actual bridge look like between posting a great piece of content and getting a viewer to take the next step and becoming a client? Woo! This not even the show. This is series.
Exactly.
But listen, we've talked about the hook. We talked about the packaging. Yeah, right? We talked about the packaging of a piece of content. But the packaging of a piece of content, while it does include the hook, description, title, if there is a thumbnail, there's a level of intentionality about making sure that package works. But where I always see people fall off, and we have talked about this on the show, is the CTA.
Right.
And the CTA,
the call to action.
Yes, the call to action, the appeal, whatever you want to call it, that offer must benefit the viewer. Right. The viewer that you were talking to the whole time. See, sometimes we have an offer that doesn't match.
Yes.
Say, hey, you're talking about whatever was in the video or the piece of content, and then the call to action is like something totally different.
Sign up for my course. Like, what course? What are you talking about? I thought we were like joking, giggling. This was a very funny, lightweight piece of content. And then at the end, you're like, sign up for this life-changing course about whatever. Like,
we weren't even there. You didn't even get me there.
You did not land that plane there. So you got to know what. Yes, it needs to be relevant. You have to know what the piece of content, kind of who it's speaking to.
Yes.
The general sentiment that it evokes.
Absolutely.
And then make a call to action that is similar. Sometimes the call to action is just like,
I'll edit it tomorrow. That's the phrase you keep saying. But while you are staring at a timeline, the people who need your voice are still waiting. Traditional video says you have to record, export, trim, and tweak for hours just for it to look professional. I'm telling you, that's a lie. It's a bottleneck that's stealing your time and silencing your gift. I've personally produced hundreds of videos for myself and clients that were not edited traditionally. I've created a 90-minute no video editing challenge showcasing my Live to Drive workflow that lets you produce high-authority video with multi-camera angles and professional dynamics, all with zero post-production. When you hit stop, you aren't starting an edit. You are ready to post. If you feel like the Edit Suite has been managing your life, if you are allergic to video editing like me, it's time to join the No Video Editing Required Challenge, and let's get you to done sooner. Click the link now.
If you like this kind of content, follow me.
Follow me, yeah. Or hit the mailing list. Sometimes the other piece, and this is the next part I was going to respond to this question. So it's the CTA. How are you matching your CTA with the content is critical. But then also, where are you making the big ask?
Yes.
I don't believe in making the big ask on social media.
Agreed.
I believe in making the big ask in a private, intimate setting.
Yeah.
Like a Zoom or a discovery call or a one-on-one or a 90-minute challenge. I'm just giving some free game right now. Like that. These are things that you can do, that you can set people up for. And in those spaces, you can now actually, that's where you make followers are where you want to convert to clients.
Correct.
But if it's your first time, right? They haven't even hit the subscribe button and you want them to buy?
So I will give you real life example real quick, just from, and this is generally how I got my first probably like 10 coaching clients, was going from establishing rapport, gaining followers, right? And that was just by creating fun but meaningful content about my area of expertise, which was life coaching women. So making content that speaks to motherhood and all of these different things, right? Then from there, I convert them to followers, just because if you keep putting out content that people like, they will eventually follow you.
Yes, it's true.
And then from there, some of my call to actions were DM me. Some of them were join my mailing list. Have you checked out my new website? Like, whatever. Okay. Then we're converting them there to a part of your like kind of inner community.
So good.
And then from there, we're making the ask.
There in that intimate space where they already know you, they already like you, they already trust you. In many instances, when I make an offer in that space, they're like, man, I was just waiting for you. I was just waiting for you to figure it out.
Right.
Because I need this.
Right.
So
and to be clear, some of them went straight from DM to offer.
This is true.
Because I had been talking to them.
This is true.
They were not strangers to me.
Yeah.
These are women who because I was showing up on socials all the time, they felt like they knew me already. And when I presented an offer, when I talked about, I think I'm going to be able to come out with a class soon, maybe for 5 to 7 women where we really work together on some of your goals or whatever. I'm talking about that in stories.
This is it right here.
So then when I put that out there and I'm just like, if you're interested in that, DM me, then they're like, yeah, I'm down.
I think there's just so much. We started the series by talking about your value proposition and your target audience. When you're talking about the business ROI, right? I think this thing talking about the content to client question. What have you figured out what your funnel is or your ladder or whatever you want to call it, that process, that customer journey? Like you do need to know that and be clear on that and who you're serving and what the transformation you provide.
Yeah.
When you're clear on those things, that actually informs the content.
Right.
I think after you know those things, then you go back and start making content.
Yes.
That's going to fuel and give people a window into what you can do for them.
Correct.
I think that's a challenge when it's disconnected and I'm getting so you have a discovery call. Oh, I hate this. And somebody gets in the discovery call and they're asking you for stuff that you don't do.
Right.
And you're like, man, where did I go wrong?
Like what made you think that this is I'm who you should come to for this thing.
Yeah. So I think misalignment is a major thing to focus on for businesses.
Yeah, make sure you're aligned.
Yeah. And then just, make the ask, y'all. Make the ask. And the ask, if I could say one last thing to close out this one and we move on to question 5, the ask isn't about your solution. The ask is about helping them solve their problem. Frame it from that perspective. Do they have this problem?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let them self-identify.
Yeah.
Right.
And because as soon as you get people saying yes, it's easier to get more yeses.
That's right.
Do you have such a? Oh yeah, that's me. I mean, just look at the commercials. Just if you watch TV, you see the commercials. I can't remember. There's so many different medicines now. It's like, all kinds of stuff. But anyway, but they always allow people to self-identify. And it's like, yeah, I have that. And then, there's the solution.
Right.
It's really not so much selling as it is solving. Yeah. I have said that on the podcast before, and I think that's where you really want to be. Okay. Question number 5, the last one, I think we'll land here, is the behind the curtain question. So since how it all works, I should have read these before because I'm reading them along with you.
Oh, okay.
Since how it all works is all about pulling back the curtain on how things operate behind the scenes. What is one part of your own content creation process that used to be a complete mess, and how did you finally streamline it?
That's a good
it's a really good question.
Say it again.
Let me read it again.
The last part. What's one part of your content?
Yeah. What is the one part of your content creation process that used to be a mess, and how do you streamline it? Oh man, so good. I love questions. I think they're the spice of life.
Okay, this is a simple one for me actually.
Come on.
Now that I think about it. So I used to essentially capture content and post it the same day.
Oh.
For a long time. You'd be surprised.
Like, boom, day.
Like, literally, day of, I'd be like, oh, what am I going to post today?
Yikes.
Do you know how stressful that is?
That's
extremely
very stressful.
That's very stressful. Sometimes it worked because there was something happening in my life that I could capture in real time.
Yeah.
So I remember one of the pieces of content that I think really had an impact for me at the beginning. I had literally just had my son maybe within 6 months, and my husband and I went out to eat, probably for the first time, just us and the baby. And I was having this moment where I was really hungry. I was nursing the baby at the time, so he was, still pretty young, and that's all he was eating. Like, he wasn't eating solids or anything, so he was completely reliant on me for food. But I'm also hungry.
Yeah.
And we're at this restaurant. I just realized I was so, like, my life is so different that my whole life is revolving around this kid right now. But I am hungry. I do need to eat because I am also his food source.
Yes.
And I'm also sitting across from this man who is fully enjoying his meal, and I feel like his life hasn't changed at all. And I was so frustrated in that moment. And I just set up my phone and I took a picture of me holding the baby, nursing, and my food was in the foreground, and you could see the steam rising from my food, and I'm not eating it.
So good.
And
a picture's worth 1,000
words,
like,
right?
That's so
okay, so
good.
that kind of thing would happen sometimes, but it's also, you cannot manufacture that every day.
No, that post you
That's
can't
the
manufacture.
part that was a mess. Was that I was not planning this stuff out. I was just doing it spur of the moment.
Got you.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
That's kind of a mess. You cannot successfully do that every day without some level of stress.
Yeah, because especially if you're intent on posting every day.
Correct.
You've
Which
already.
I was.
Oh yeah.
I was posting every single day.
Wow.
So that wasn't gonna work. And so finally, I was like, okay, I have to get ahead of this. Let me start capturing content, having photo shoots, just capturing moments, and I don't have to post it in real time. I can capture it ahead of time and start using it later.
No. That's gold.
That took me a while to get to that point. And it's not to say those were, like I said, those pieces of content were impactful. They were valuable, but that wasn't sustainable.
Yeah. So it's the process.
The process.
That you were able to kind of fine tune.
Yeah.
That's gold.
And figure out.
That's gold. And that perfectly, talks about pulling back the curtain and allow people to see. For me, it's kind of what I talk about with live video. We what's your strength? What's your sweet spot? What's what creatively you can just go. For me, when the camera is on, it doesn't even have to be live. As long as I know that it's recording, that I'm on. I'm ready to go.
Okay.
And so there was a lot of things that I was doing to complicate the process. Well, got to think about this, got to think about this, got to think about this. And I think one of the times I just kind of did I don't know if I want to say I wasn't prepared, but I just had it was okay. So I was doing this conference, and I thought I was going to be interviewed.
Okay.
So, and everything, I mean, even I said this to the guy afterwards, but everything leading up, I was interviewed.
It seemed like you were going to be interviewed.
I even sent him a message like, yo, what are the questions? I don't really care.
Right.
But, just give me
a
general idea. And he's like, oh, do it. We'll do whatever you want. I should have known anyway.
Yeah.
We get to the day of, I go for the tech check, which is about an hour before my time in the conference. It's virtual. And then he says to me, like, do you have slides? And I was like,
oh, God.
No. I'm not presenting.
Bruh.
You're interviewing. He's
my
like,
God.
oh, we could do that. Well, just give me whatever questions you want. So I didn't want to go do the back and forth thing like, bro, what are you talking about? So I just basically just sat for the next 10 minutes, typed up like 4 questions, 5 questions, kind of like this, and then put slides for the questions and just talked. That was one of the best presentations I ever gave. And I just kind of realized like I'm overcomplicating my life.
Okay.
I'm overcomplicating all of my setup, all of my things. I really just need to kind of jot down just some breadcrumbs. I think, for presenters, sometimes when I get into prep mode, I can really go, it's almost like I want to read the script, and that's not the way.
Yes.
I just wanted to give myself some breadcrumbs, created some flyers to really call out a particular phrase, but that was it. I had like 6 slides.
And that was it.
But man, people were the way they were raving, and I'm sitting there like, this is crazy. I had nothing an hour ago. I had nothing.
Bruh,
and so it was just so crazy.
That made me feel sick to my stomach. That moment, imagining a moment like that, I would.
Bruh, it's so great. But yeah.
But it worked out.
It
so
worked
well.
out, and it taught me Like even in my own process, I'm just overthinking. This is why I'm such a big proponent of this whole concept of live video strategy. I can come up here and record and go back downstairs and go about my life.
Yeah.
Because when you make it part of the fabric of what you do and you set it up to work with your strengths, it just works. It just works.
It just works. That's how it all works.
Man, this was gold. I am not going to put any more on it, man.
That was perfect.
Those 5 questions were excellent. We want to thank you guys. And I want to say this, info@howitallworks.com, the email address, info@howitallworks.com. Works is spelled with an E. We'll put it on the screen and it'll be in the description. That's where you want to send. If we will do more of these.
Yeah,
and
I like
if you want to
this.
send in your questions, by all means, send them in. If you got content questions, whatever, it's almost like a little coaching session. So please send it to that email address. For these, I had to kind of sift through and kind of compile and work with the team to kind of figure out some of them. That's why some of them I had not even seen.
Right.
But in the future, we'd love to be able to answer your direct question and say like, Tom and, Wilson and whatever, send in this question. We'd love to be able to do that. So send it to info@howitallworks.com. We'd love to be able to join with you on that. But I want to go back to the beginning, what we talked about at the beginning, questions. And of course, the whole concept of what we talked about in today's episode was based on your questions that we've compiled. But asking questions, answering questions are the spice of life. For a content creator, you can't have enough questions.
Right.
If you can frame it in a question and you get to answer it, you get to hopefully answer it in a way that even a 4-year-old, I think, did they say 4-year-old or 4th grader?
4th grader can understand.
Yeah. It's 4th grade language. Oh, when you master the art of doing that,
yes,
content's just going to flow, y'all. It's just going to flow. That's another cheat code we want to leave with you today. Any final things you wanted to share? I mean, we covered a lot.
No, just that I hope that they will send in questions. I hope that they will start asking real questions in the comments, in our DMs,
in the DMs
that we can genuinely answer. Because I love this style of content, but also then we know that it is having the impact we want it to have because it's answering your questions directly.
And it lets us know where the gaps are. Like, okay, well, we covered that, but maybe we didn't go deep enough.
Yes.
Now that we have these questions. So that's really good. That's really good.
Yep.
Family, listen, we're not going to say any more. We got to get prepped for another. But this has been another episode of the How It All Works podcast. I get to serve as your host. My name is Kirk Nugent, and my lovely co-host is
Taina Nixon.
And man, listen, your questions made this thing gold today. So let's do that again. We hope to see you around these internet streets or in the next video. Grace and peace.
Bye.